Hello, I'm Bartling, and I certainly hope that you and yours are having yourself a sunnier, warmer day. Each time that we get one of them, oh, it feels so good. The older I am, the more that I think. And I'm thinking that some observations that I had, and I took them to kind of be my standard, they've changed over the years, particularly in my occupation, in my career, in my 50 plus years in the career. And it's kind of like this. When I started my education and going to college, and it wasn't really an easy path, and some of it was my own doing. You see, some of the things that I majored in college, in the first year or two, was cards. Yeah, I majored in hearts and spades. Man, I could play that. Well, it kind of had a ripple effect because you see, it became self-evident in my grades what I was majoring in. In fact, so that the college where I went told me to stay home, academic probation. He said, why don't you stay home for a semester? Give it some thought and then come back. Well, I did, and it made a difference. I started to get my education. And I was getting my education, a degree in a BS degree in business. A BS degree. You know what that stands for? Kind of like bowl of sugar. That's what BS. And then you got a master's degree, MS. So a BS, bowl of sugar. MS, more of the same. PhD, piled higher and deeper. Well, as I was getting my education, coming back from academic probation, and kind of, as the phrase would go, buckling down, in obtaining that business degree, it became apparent that there were 4 INGs. 4 INGs, and if you was able to then learn about these INGs and master them, oh boy, you could be a success. That's what education was saying. And these 4 INGs were planning, setting goals, setting strategies on how to get to that particular goal, as it might be, and creating, you might say, a roadmap for your business. Then the next ING was marketing. Marketing makes sense. The promoting, right, on the business products and services that you have. And then looking at different channels to do that marketing. And then we get into the operating, down to the brass tacks, as I would say, overseeing then the day-to-day activities. And maybe applying then the Kaizen concept. The Kaizen concept that Edward Deming brought back to America after he was in Japan in the 1950s. That any particular parts of that operation, of operating your business, it can be looked at and done better, more efficiently, from being effective to being efficient. Kaizen from Japan. Then finally we had managing. Managing, yes, then the overseeing the aspects of the business itself. You know, the finance, the human resources, the whole cycle of things there. And at different courses, then you started to master these things more and more, that you could be more successful. And as you got more degrees, then again, the application thereof. The INGs, the 4 INGs, planning, marketing, operating, and managing. Well, as I said, my viewpoint has maybe changed a little bit, particularly in these 50 plus years of being in the same industry. let me kind of expand upon that by explaining it this way. Do you have an elevator speech? You know, kind of when people say, what do you do? What do you do, Dow? In fact, I think you've been doing it for over 50 plus years. What is it that you do? Well, what I do is this. Both in my parts of my career, in the captured corporation environment, and in the more important, I believe, the independent aspect of this industry. Here at Financial Markets Incorporated, in which I am an owner thereof, basically we are an advisor to financial advisors. So as financial advisors have needs for their clients being independent, we can then advise them and expand their portfolio on what they can offer their clients for their particular needs. I use a phrase that maybe you've heard of before. We provide another arrow for their quiver so they can hit the target for their client. And we too, here at Financial Markets, we apply for INGs. So being that advisor to the financial advisor, we apply for INGs. And one of them that we do is finding the right carrier that has the particular products that we can give to the financial advisor for a choice. Making sure that carrier is of the top quality in the various ratings that's done on insurance carriers independently. Finding the right associate, the right person for the particular needs that we have at the time of financial markets, so they can have their seat on the bus to success. And finally, finding the right financial advisor. We wish to build a relationship with that financial advisor, and they become one of our clients. Having that relationship, much like your doctor does, much like an attorney does, maybe your CPA. We want that particular type of relationship with that financial advisor. So the first ING is finding. You might say, lumping them all together, we're hunting for the best. After that comes then the growing. Understanding that we might be introducing to that financial advisor something that they're not aware of or they don't know that much of. And so it takes planting that seed and then growing it and nurturing it, that particular seed. Also, the associates that join us here, sometimes they don't have a lot of knowledge in our industry. And so we have to then, after we find the best, we have to plant the seed to grow their knowledge, to grow their confidence. The confidence that the financial advisor has and confidence that our associates have. Finding and growing. And then we move to nurturing that particular client, whether that be external or internal. Yes, I can remember that when my father, Sergeant Major Bartling, when he retired then close to where my grandparents were, and he loved to get on the tractor because he was from the farm, and he loved to get on the old John Deere, and they would then plant corn, and then they would have to, back in those times, they'd have to cultivate that corn. So they were then nurturing that particular corn. And they had to set the cultivator, sometimes the shovel was set in, and sometimes the shovel was set out at particular times. So nurturing isn't static. As things grow, then it takes sometimes particular nurturing at that particular time, whether they be external or internal. Finding, growing, nurturing, and then finally serving. Ways to separate us sometimes from the other competitors out there is serving our clients, letting them know that we are their back office. They have a need, and it may be a service need. They know to come to us. And we have associates that is their specialty in serving. So, again, Dow, what do you do? What have you done? 50 plus years, willing to put your sweat equity in and developed as a career. Well, one, independent. That expands the world. And we are a advisor to financial advisors. And we think we do provide a needed service to the financial advisors and to the industry as a whole. Because you know what? We are in this together. Yes, we are. That's not the only reason, but because we are in this together, I'm rooting for you. Yes, I am. And don't forget this. Blessed are they who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. Go forth now. Take care and enjoy that sunnier, warmer day.